What if love was a promise that kept breaking itself? One woman felt betrayed by a sister. Another feared losing forever. In Sister Wives Season 20, the messages begin, and the family's truth unravels. DMs pour in. Robyn breaks down. Christine finally speaks. And what follows will divide not just their faith, but everything they built together. Was it a betrayal between wives, or a revelation that finally freed them both? Part 1. When Sister Wives first aired in 2010, it was sold as a story of faith and family. One man, 4 wives, 18 children, and a dream of unity. But by season 18, that dream had shattered. Christine was the first to go, then Janelle, then Mary. The man who once preached oneness was left with only Robyn, and a question no one wanted to ask. What is a polygamist without plural wives? Robyn thought she won the fight for Kody's heart, but victory felt like a prison. Then came the messages, anonymous at first, then persistent. Women from Utah, Nevada, even online fan groups, claiming they felt called to join the Brown family. It was an echo from the past, the days when adding a wife was a sign of growth, not chaos. But behind the cameras, Kody wasn't just reading those messages, he was replying. Sources close to the family say Robyn was furious. For years, she had been the loyal defender of polygamy. Now, she was the one begging Kody not to do it again. To Robyn, another wife didn't mean salvation, it meant reliving the wars with Christine and Janelle that tore the family apart. Was Robyn protecting her marriage, or protecting her power? Episode 8 changed everything. During a heart-to-heart scene with Kody, Robyn confessed she wouldn't survive another woman in the house. But then, Kody dropped a bombshell. That line shook the internet. Was he admitting emotional cheating? Or just nostalgia for a faith long abandoned? But the real shock wasn't what he said, it was what Robyn did next. 2 days after filming that scene, Robyn was spotted in Flagstaff without her wedding ring. Paparazzi photos ignited headlines, as Robyn leaving Kody. But insiders say it was a strategic move, to remind him what life without her would look like. For the first time in years, the power had shifted. Social media erupted, fans divided, some calling Robyn manipulative, others sympathizing with her loneliness. Many viewers saw the scene as Robyn's breaking point, the moment she realized that being the favorite wife meant being the only one left to blame. Robyn's struggle is not about jealousy. It's about survival in a structure that was never built for emotional balance. But what if Kody actually wanted the rumors to spread? Some insiders believe Kody was testing Robyn, gauging whether she would still defend his faith or finally stand against it. As season 20 closes, Kody and Robyn sit in their living room, their voices low but their hearts loud. Robyn says, "I still believe in eternity, just not the way we used to." It's a moment of clarity, the end of the old Brown family and the birth of something uncertain. Will Kody choose faith or freedom? Will Robyn be the last wife, or the first chapter of a new beginning? If you believe Robyn deserves peace, drop a love in the comments. If you think a new wife is coming, type #NextSisterWife. Part 2. To understand Christine's pain, we have to go back to a time when Sister Wives wasn't a story of separation, but of shared dreams. Christine joined Kody's plural marriage in 1994. She was the third wife, bubbly, nurturing, and deeply devoted. For years, she was the glue holding the family together, the mother who believed love could multiply. But everything changed in 2010, when Robyn, the fourth wife, entered the family. From the moment Robyn arrived, Christine felt the shift, and it never shifted back. Christine often described her early relationship with Robyn as hopeful. She wanted to believe in sisterhood. But the truth, she felt replaced. Christine noticed that Kody's affection, once shared among all wives, was now centered on Robyn. The long talks, the road trips, the inside jokes, they weren't plural anymore. And then came the betrayal that broke her faith. According to Christine, the real heartbreak didn't come from Kody, it came from Robyn. In a newly aired scene, Christine reveals that Robyn made a promise to stand with her against Kody's emotional favoritism. But when the cameras rolled, Robyn stayed silent. To Christine, that silence felt like betrayal. The moment she realized, she wasn't just losing a husband. She was losing a friend. But Christine didn't cry. She planned her exit. By late 2021, the emotional tension was unbearable. Christine had made up her mind. She was leaving Flagstaff. Leaving Kody. Leaving the life she built for nearly 3 decades. But what fans didn't know was the real reason she left. That was the twist, the dual conversations, the double loyalty. Robyn's attempt to keep peace only deepened the fracture. Was Robyn trying to protect Kody, or protect herself? When Christine's confession aired, fans erupted. #Team Christine trended across TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit within hours. Many women saw Christine's journey as their own, the moment of realizing you can't fix what doesn't value you. Christine's story resonates because it's not just about polygamy. It's about emotional boundaries, self-worth, and the courage to walk away. Meanwhile, Robyn stayed quiet, refusing interviews, keeping to herself. But silence only fueled the speculation. Was Robyn's guilt eating her alive, or was she planning her own exit next? Today, Christine Brown is remarried, radiant, and rebuilding. Her new life in Utah stands as a symbol of starting over, proof that healing begins when silence ends. As for Robyn, she remains the last wife standing, haunted by the words that broke the bond. Do you believe Robyn betrayed Christine, or was she misunderstood? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. The story of the Brown family is the story of belief in plural marriage, faith, and unity against a world that never understood them. Kody Brown, a man of deep conviction and chaotic charisma, married 4 women under spiritual law: Mary, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn. They called it love multiplied. But behind closed doors, it was a constant balancing act between devotion and jealousy. Equality was a promise, but someone was always left behind. By 2013, viewers saw the shift. Kody's attention moved toward Robyn, his youngest wife and the first to marry him legally after the law changed in Utah. Christine felt invisible. Her marriage turned spiritual, not romantic. Fans noticed the distance. But the real crack appeared when Robyn became the legal wife to help Kody adopt her children, a move that Christine later called the day I stopped believing in our equality. From that moment, the wives weren't sisters, they were survivors. Season 20 brings a new spark to old ashes. Kody starts getting messages from women who say they feel called to join his family. To Robyn, these messages were a test of faith. To Christine, they were salt on a wound still bleeding. Christine had lived this cycle before: the excitement of a new wife, the slow erasure of the old. When she heard Kody was entertaining the idea again, she didn't see faith, she saw a betrayal repeating itself. That promise was the last thread, and it snapped. In a private conversation filmed late 2021, Christine confronted Robyn about what she called the unspoken deal. Robyn had told her she'd support Christine's feelings about fairness, but then stood by as Kody blamed Christine for disunity. Robyn's silence in that moment was the final betrayal. Christine later told a producer, "I expected him to hurt me. Not her." But Robyn had her own truth, and it was just as painful. Robyn insisted she was trapped between loyalty and fear. In a 2024 interview with People, she said, "I was trying to keep the family from exploding. I didn't realize it had already burned down." Christine left Flagstaff in November 2021. The family never recovered. TLC viewership spiked to record numbers. Over 2.4 million women tuned in to watch her drive away from the cul-de-sac that once defined her life. Comments poured in. She finally chose herself. Robyn played the victim card too long. This feels like every divorce I've ever watched in slow motion. For many women, Christine became a symbol, not of rebellion, but of release. But here's the twist no one expected: Robyn was never the villain of Christine's story. Kody was. Christine later said, "I don't hate Robyn. I hate who I became trying to compete with her." That line reshaped the fan conversation, from jealousy to self-worth. 2 years later, Christine is married again, happy, grounded, and free. Robyn remains the last wife standing, surrounded by ghosts of a faith that once promised eternity. The DMs have stopped. The houses are empty, but the story still echoes. Because every woman who watched Christine walk away saw something familiar, the moment you realize your piece is worth more than your promise. Long before the family started falling apart, their story had already rewritten American television history. In 2010, Sister Wives wasn't just a reality show, it was a legal risk. When the first episodes aired, the Browns were living in fear of prosecution. In 2011, Utah's bigamy law was still strict enough to charge Kody with a felony. That fear pushed the family to leave Lehi and move to Las Vegas. It was there, in those early Vegas years, that the cracks began forming. By 2020, Utah decriminalized plural marriage, too late for the Browns. The law had changed, but the love had not survived. What they once called a spiritual principle had become emotional exhaustion. The world accepted polygamy, just when the Browns could no longer live it. When Christine's confession aired, social media became the family's courtroom. Reddit threads exploded, Facebook fan pages split into hashtag Team Christine and hashtag Team Robyn camps. Christine finally did what every woman dreams of: leaving without apologizing. Robyn didn't betray Christine. She betrayed the fantasy of sisterhood. We all saw ourselves in Christine's goodbye. Podcasts, talk shows, and women's groups started analyzing their story, not as a TV breakup, but as a case study in emotional survival. For many American women, the Brown family's collapse wasn't gossip, it was recognition. The show began as a portrait of unity, and ended as a mirror for modern marriage. Psychologists describe Christine's transformation as the detachment phase, the point where empathy turns into self-protection. For years, she carried the emotional labor of keeping peace. But emotional labor without reciprocity always ends in burnout. When you suppress your needs to maintain harmony, you end up losing both. Christine's departure wasn't impulsive, it was delayed self-respect. Robyn's silence, meanwhile, reflects what therapists call conflict avoidance conditioning, the need to please authority figures even at personal cost. In that sense, both women were trapped in the same system, one left to breathe, the other stayed to survive. This wasn't the end of sisterhood, it was the evolution of selfhood. As credits roll, one thing remains: the echoes of women learning that love is not loyalty, and silence is not peace. Christine found freedom, Robyn found loneliness, and America found itself asking, what does family really mean when faith becomes fracture? Sometimes, the strongest woman is the one who walks away, and the one who stays. Do you believe Robyn was a betrayer or a survivor? Drop your truth in the comments below. Hit like if you've ever had to choose your own peace over someone else's approval. Subscribe for next week's episode, where we uncover Kody Brown's next move and the real future of the Brown legacy.